Welcome back to Weekends with Whitney. Well, it's usually one of two ways. The glass is either half empty or it's half full. But what a joyful world it would be if it were more half full than half empty for most of us. So Dr. Nick joins us this morning with how to be more positive in a cruel world.
Yeah, and how to take the word optimism and really give it the flesh that it needs, because I don't like the notion of optimism as, you know, my mother died, so it's a 9 on a 10. I mean, you know, there are bad things that happen, and there are some times when we're really sad and we just wonder what the meaning of life is.
Because you can't always look through life with rose-colored glasses.
Exactly, and that really brings, I guess, to open it up with the positive. The positive, optimistic person, and this is not mine. This is all just based on really great research from different people.
Yeah, wait, let me pause you for one moment, because you do wonder what separates the optimistic people from the pessimistic people. And I mean that in a general sense.
In a general sense.
We're all going to be one way some days and not the other.
Absolutely, absolutely.
But in general.
Good point, Whitney, that it's not in one or the other, you know, that we've got to always choose. Sometimes the glass can be half empty.
And
Fine.
will be.
Okay, but the optimist, for the most part, sees an adversity or an obstacle as specific. It's my computer is the problem, not life.
Yeah, or me because I'm an idiot.
Or me because I'm an idiot. Right, it's the computer. The specific, that it's temporary, that it's going to pass. You know, the whole 12-step, this too shall pass. I mean, this is really simple thinking, but it's powerful thinking, because we know it's going to pass. And that it's specific, that it's temporary, and that it's external. Now, the external is important because very often I have said to people, myself included, when the storms come, it's about navigation. That's my responsibility.
That's brilliant.
My responsibility is not to say, why me?
Sure.
It's to say, there's a storm a-brewing, I gotta navigate. Do you hear how all of a sudden the personal becomes personal power? And that's not to say we don't have problems internally, but a lot of the stuff that goes on, it's outside of our control.
Certainly, like I can't stop it from raining.
You can't stop it from raining.
I can navigate
you can't stop your daughter's problems with a certain subject. You can't stop the problems of having to pay taxes or preparing them, or, you know, just kind of problems coming our way. But the optimist is able to see that as out there. Okay. What do I do with it? You see the difference? The pessimist, now the opposite, the pessimist, personalizing, internal. It's about me. What did I do? What did I do to cause the rain? Believe it or not, that's the pessimist.
Wow.
Pervasive. The whole day's ruined because the computer's not working. You hear it just kind of floods the whole, everything is wrong.
Right.
And then permanent. It's never going to end.
It's never going to get fixed.
It's never going to get fixed.
The problem's
never going to
get
better. It's never going to pass.
My boss is never going to, you know, be kind.
Isn't that great stuff? I mean, simple to the core, rational cognitive thought development, but simple to the core.
So let me ask you this. Why are some leaning more one way than the other?
I was thinking about that the other day.
Have we taught ourselves that? Is that self-taught? Is that environmental? Is it just not reframing?
If you really pushed me, I'd say that's primarily learned behavior. It's learned behavior. And that's why we need people around us who are optimistic. Parents and teachers and friends, not to make light of the problem, but to remind us of what? It's just this situation. Think about everything else in the day. It's going to pass. Can't you remember that, you know, last week you had a problem with something and it passed? You're smiling because you get it. It's like just reminding, not in a phony way, but it's going to pass. And storms come. Come on, let's navigate.
Right.
Let's shift the sails. Let's drop down to, you know, to neutral and just kind of pull to the side because the tornado's coming. Let's go, you know, into a ditch to protect ourselves.
Yes, yes.
It's so clean. And you think about children, teaching children this. It's going to pass. You'll be all right. It's specific. It's not about you. You didn't call. One of the things that I love to do most, Whitney, in a therapeutic way, is to make sure that people who are struggling with their marriage let their children know that they didn't cause it.
Sure. Because they will internalize.
Because they will
every time, won't
internalize.
they?
If I act better, maybe mom and dad won't, do this. If I act better, maybe dad will come around if we got a deadbeat dad. It's helping to remind them it's not about you. And I'm sorry that you have to suffer, but remember it will pass. And let's get your life rolling. What are you going to do with your life? Yeah. It's really great stuff.
It is great stuff. And it shows me, too, that we can all be a little more optimistic. Even if it's not someone's nature, we can all teach ourselves to reframe all of that.
Absolutely. And how? By saying it's going to pass. It's specific to this situation. It's not pervasive.
Not about me.
It's going to pass. It's not about me. What my job is to navigate.
All right.
Is to navigate. And then when everything's going well, what? Pull the sails out.
Oh, right.
And just kind of sit back and enjoy the breeze, which also will pass. not to end on a negative note, but it's true. It will pass. Because the storms are going to come.
That's right. Just got to be ready. Hey, navigate great this week.
Navigate.
Much more Weekends with Whitney right after.